in my 20s, having been broadly exposed to a lot of this information, in retrospect, I actually think I thought I was a bit special and I'd escaped this. I'm a good hockey player, I'm sporty, I love working with men, I love working with women. I kind of have my shtick when I'm working in a male environment, and my shtick worked pretty well in a law firm. And all of a sudden, as I moved into more senior roles and I started to experience some of what I was hearing about, I started to understand I'm not special, I just was so irrelevant at that stage of my career that none of these things applied to me. As I took on more responsibility and then ended up in rooms where, more often than not, I was the only woman, I started to understand some of the challenges with being one out of 12 people around the room, 13 people around the room. I also started to understand more around gender differences. In a lot of ways, my demeanor and approach was more similar to some of the men around the table. The way I think and the way I articulate my hands and my expressions, I like to joke, was often very different. And I started to have a much greater appreciation for that. I also started to understand that some of the baggage I brought with me were stereotypes that had been told to me. And I'll give you one example, the Queen Bee syndrome. I had been told so often that women don't help women that every time I encountered a woman who didn't help me, I go, of course, yeah, women don't help women. I knew it. All of a sudden I'm in my 30s and then moving into my 40s, and over the course of 15 years, tons of women have helped me. Men have helped me too, but on balance, more often than not, women have reached in and been instrumental in providing me advice, tough talk when necessary. And I thought, I internalized this idea that women don't help women because it was told to me, and every time I found some random woman who wasn't interested in me, I was like, yeah, exactly, women don't help women. I think that over the course of your career, it really is, at my stage, still an evolution. I'm learning, I'm understanding the value of getting good mentoring, of being a good mentor, of having a professional persona that is effective, but also many of the women I like and admire are themselves. They're really authentic people. I have no doubt that from the day you sat on a board to today, you were yourself. And you brought yourself to the table, and you were not trying to fit into a construct that was not you. So I think for me, it's not looking back and saying, here are all the things I learned. It's still a learning process. But, over the last 15 years, I've come a long way.